It has been a catastrophic day for Donald Trump, perhaps the worst day of his presidency yet. Of course, you probably know by now that the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee were able to get their hands on new emails between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as Jeffrey Epstein and Michael Wolff and other Epstein emails, which link Donald Trump to conduct that is abhorrent. Jeffrey Epstein says that basically Donald Trump knew everything. He would hang out in the house with the victim. We'll get to that in a moment. But I want to cover the other disasters in Donald Trump's morning and day thus far. Let's just take a look at the headlines this morning. Tariffs are forcing brands to cut back on Black Friday deals. Trump's literally the Grinch destroying Christmas. You know how MAGA Republicans would say, oh, the Democrats want to destroy Christmas. Donald Trump is quite literally doing that. As Carl Quintanilla writes from the Bloomberg article, it just doesn't make financial sense for us to offer discounts because our costs of goods are so high because of tariffs. Less discounts, less purchasing, high credit card debt, and massive delinquencies there spells big, big trouble. You take a look at, just say coffee. Coffee futures right now ranging near record levels. And you know right now that if you go out and buy coffee, how expensive it is. So now Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is floating the idea of coffee tariff relief and tariff relief on other products. Tariff relief? I thought you all said that tariffs were going to make us so rich. And they're your tariffs against the world. Now we need relief from your tariffs. Right, Donald Trump creates the problems, destroys the lives of our soybean farmers, destroys construction manufacturing, destroys many sectors, and then needs to bail them out and provide them relief or just let them go bankrupt. Just take a look at this one as well. It's not just affordability that Americans are anxious over. They're anxious over jobs as well. 55% of employed Americans say that they are concerned right now about losing their jobs. And 62% of respondents said the cost of their everyday items had climbed over the last month. But Donald Trump and MAGA says this is all a hoax and that we're living a golden age. We're in the Gilded Age, indeed. We're all having great Gatsby parties just like Donald, aren't we? With the slogan, a little party never killed nobody, right? Aren't we all living that way? Absolutely not. Donald Trump is making the American people suffer. Donald Trump is starving the American people to death. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans are ripping away the health care of over 20 million Americans. Why? Because they hate Americans. I mean, just listen to what Donald Trump said last night. He said that Americans are too stupid to do the jobs that we need foreign workers for. He goes, Americans can't do those jobs. And then in the same interview with Laura Ingraham, he said that Americans can't attend these universities. That's why we need at least 600,000 Chinese students to fill those seats. Americans are too dumb to go to those universities. Donald Trump saying that on Fox, and the MAGAs are pissed. I showed videos, I did on a video this morning. I showed some comments by these former MAGA people who were like, this is the ultimate betrayal by Donald Trump. Let's take a look at another data point. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the Epstein files in just a bit. But I don't want to lose sight of the other things that are impacting Americans while Donald Trump is also covering up the Epstein files. Auto loan delinquencies hit a record high for the riskiest borrowers. Not a good data point as well. And Donald, what do you think's going to happen if you do subprime 50-year plus mortgages? What do you think's going to happen then as well? And by the way, that doesn't address the issue of affordability in housing, which is a supply side issue because corporations, hedge funds, private equity, they're out there buying the supply of homes and competing against individuals who want to buy homes for their families, and they commoditize it and sell it. Let's take a look right here of Trump's approval of how Trump is managing the government falls right now. The failure, a failure to blame the Democrats on it, according to the AP NORC poll, the AP NORC poll. Only 33% of U.S. adults approve of the way the Republican president is managing the government, down from 43% in the same poll in March. Independent approval from independents dropped from 38% to 25%. Do you remember where we were at this time last year? Like literally a year ago, the headline from the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal headline. Let me repeat it one more time. The Wall Street Journal headline said, "The next president inherits a remarkable economy. The high quality of recent economic growth should put a wind at the back of the White House's next occupant." All Donald Trump had to do is let the economy stay on overdrive. He could have golfed. He could have went to his Gatsby parties, but he had to destroy the economy with his tariffs against the world and his other disastrous economic policies. So what was Donald Trump doing today? How was he spending his time? Well, he was hanging out with the leader of Syria in the Oval Office. The leader of Syria, of course, was the former leader of Al-Qaeda as well. Just a little bit of thing. There was a $10 to $20 million bounty on this guy's head about a year or 2 years ago, but okay. So Donald Trump brings him into the Oval Office and starts spraying Trump cologne on him and asking him how many wives does he have. That's what Donald Trump was doing today. Here, play this clip.
Men's fragrance, yeah. This is no. It's the best fragrance. Come here, please.
I have more here, sir.
Okay. So what we'll do is just take that, Joe, put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many wives? One for what? You guys had never know, right? I never.
Okay. So that's how Donald Trump was spending his time with this Epstein bombshell that dropped. I told you we'd get to the Epstein bombshell.
This episode of MeidasTouch is brought to you by Wild Grain. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, seasonal pastries, and fresh pastas. Plus, all items conveniently bake in 25 minutes or less. Unlike many store-bought options, Wild Grain uses simple ingredients you can pronounce and a slow fermentation process that can be easier on your belly and richer in nutrients and antioxidants. Wild Grain's boxes are fully customizable, and they're constantly adding seasonal and limited time products for you to enjoy. In addition to their classic box, they now feature a gluten-free box and a plant-based box. Now, I am truly obsessed with Wild Grain, and especially their tear and share cranberry pecan rolls, their Parmesan herb biscuits, and apple pie bites. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Wild Grain is great for hosting. They're here to make you look like a baking expert without the stress. You can even buy some of their items in bulk. Whether giving a box or sending an e-gift card to their inbox, Wild Grain makes for the perfect gift for your loved ones or to bring as a host gift. Now, for a limited time, Wild Grain is offering our listeners $30 off your first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/Meidas to start your subscription. You heard me, free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/Meidas. That's wildgrain.com/Meidas, or you can use promo code Meidas at checkout.
Newly released emails show that Jeffrey Epstein told Ghislaine Maxwell that Donald Trump spent hours at my house, knew about the girls, and that the dog that hasn't barked is Donald Trump. Here's the email from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. It should be noted it was sent April 2nd, 2011. So before Trump was running for president, before he was viewed as a political figure, before people could say, oh, we got to focus on the Epstein files and Trump's links, before all of that. April of 2011. That's why, to me, this has extra credibility. I still think it has credibility in 2019, in 2018, but you could say, well, Trump was in office then, so maybe he was writing emails in that period. I'll just show you what he said in 2011. I want you, Ghislaine, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. It's redacted who the victim is. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. To which Ghislaine responds, I have been thinking about that. Really, Ghislaine? It's interesting that you're thinking about that because when we heard the audio of your meeting with Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, turned number 2 at the DOJ, you said he's never been involved in anything bad, untoward. He was a perfect gentleman. I barely knew anything about him. Really, the emails suggest something very different. In 2018, Jeffrey Epstein said in an email, I know how dirty Donald is. Epstein says, I know how dirty he is. Also, an email from author Michael Wolff to Epstein suggests that Epstein had compromising information on Trump, and Wolff suggested that Epstein release that information. So what's MAGA Mike Johnson saying while all of this is taking place? Quote, this is MAGA Mike Johnson. This is another publicity stunt by the Democrats. They're trying to mislead the people. I'll refer you to the House Oversight Committee's response by the Republicans. The House Oversight Committee said the Democrats are cherry picking for clickbait. It's just a clickbait thing. Dude, just release the files. Release all of the files, and then you won't have to say cherry picking, clickbait. Release the files. We are getting this disturbing footage as well. Leaked footage from inside of an ICE detention facility near Houston, as Molly Plufkins writes. No beds, hundreds of men and women in one combined cell room. The AC is permanently kept on max to freeze people. These are the conditions in concentration camps all throughout the United States. And I want you to realize that when I talk about ICE disappearing people and putting them into concentration camps, I'm not being hyperbolic. There are private concentration camps all throughout the United States where men, women, children, sometimes citizens sometimes are being thrown into these concentration camps, and they are being intentionally tortured by the government here in the United States. And so no wonder also governments have stopped sharing intelligence with us. It's not just the torturing of people here in the United States, which I believe are war crimes within the United States. Of course, the United States is involved in a daily basis in war crimes in the Caribbean and in the Pacific, shooting and blowing up fishing boats, killing now over 70 people without any adjudication and without any evidence and without any transparency. So we learned the United Kingdom has shut off sharing their intelligence with the United States about that region and probably other regions. France is saying it's going to be doing the same. Colombia is saying it is doing the same. And all these countries, every other country agrees that America is currently engaged in war crimes currently. And these war crimes are being directed by Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump, and they're war criminals. And after this regime is over, they should be tried in war crime tribunals, is what I believe. And anybody who's involved in these war crimes, these killings, these concentration camps need to be held accountable in war crime tribunals. Simple to me. Pete Hegseth giving another speech this morning, war criminal Pete Hegseth. I won't call him Secretary of War. I'll call him Secretary of Being a War Criminal, Pete Hegseth. He gave a speech this morning. And again, he uses this phrase that this is a 1939 moment. You mean the moment where Hitler invaded Poland? That's a 1939 moment? Okay, here, play this clip.
Real hard power, and the enemy has to believe you'll use it in order to prevent them from taking action. And certainly it's not theoretical right now. This feels like a 1939 type moment, or hopefully a 1981 type moment, where America needs to lead and rebuild to ensure that we maintain that peace through strength. Enemies are gathering and threats are growing.
And then the Trump regime has on its usual propagandist, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, lying shamelessly about inheriting a mess and that they solved inflation. No, inflation was going down. It was hitting the Fed targets, and now inflation's going up. We all know this, like we're not stupid, but they think we're stupid. So here's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent thinking you're stupid. No, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, we're not. We know that you're frauds. We know that you're grifters. We know that you're criminals. We know that you are led by a sexual abuser in Donald Trump. We know who you are. Here, play this clip.
And we came in, we inherited a mess. We have brought the inflation down. And Rob, there are two ways for curing affordability. There's bringing inflation down, because some of the prices we are going to be able to bring down. So energy prices, gasoline.
And here's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying, yeah, we'll feel better next year. Maybe next year, everybody. Maybe next year, everybody. Here, play this clip.
And the American people are going to start feeling better. But look, this has been a tough period.
Which you feel like only 9 months in you inherited. But there are people that say the numbers are good on some areas, but I don't feel it. What do you say to those people who say, I don't feel it? Be patient?
I I say that you are going to feel it.
I'm not sure why I did that Mickey Mouse voice, but whatever. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. We appreciate you for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thank you.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.